Okay, section 2 is where the good stuff happens. I'm going to use a different piece of software called ScreenFlow to record a screencast, which is basically capturing everything on the screen to show you how Wirecast works. I'll be back with you shortly. Alright, before we get into virtual camera outs, I'm going to quickly show you some basics around Wirecast that I think if you've just bought the software and it's quite an expensive buy compared to sort of Manycam and a few other things, but I think it's absolutely worth it. It's rock solid stable, it's professional in terms of approach, very similar to a hardware switcher, and as of version 6 I found it extremely fast and extremely reliable. Now it's 64-bit, it just works really well. My setup is a little bit complex, I guess. Here you can get even more complex than that. A few things I want to show you in here about playlists and editing shots. First thing I'm going to get into is the shots, I guess. This is a particular shot that I'm using to record today. If I do edit shot on this, so that's basically right clicking on the highlighted shot here, you'll see that a shot is made up of various sources. So I've got my webcam, I've got an image, and I've got the microphone. Now the attributes to this are all shown on this side, so when you add a new shot, you can say, do I want it to be a webcam or some audio or a document, a picture or movie. Now obviously I need to have my mic audio on there so you can hear me in that shot. I also have the background, and then if I click on my HD webcam, you'll see here on the right hand side you've got various attributes. I'm not going to go into too much detail here about all of them. I can if you want me to. I can do a separate video. Just shoot me a message or leave me a comment and I can break down certain areas if you need to know that. Chroma keying, I've got chroma keying selected, so if I click that you'll see how my background, my green screen is lit, quite evenly lit. When I click chroma key it disappears, so I'm using this key threshold slider here in the white clip to get that effect. That's pretty much sources, so you can create as many sources as you want. I've also got a hotkey here as well. I'll show you how hotkeys work. This is what I use for playing stuff in the background. I've got a movie on this one. I'll go into this one. So I've got a movie on this one, and I'm selecting green screen on this as well, so that I'm getting rid of all this green that's around me at the back. So that's kind of cool. Just to jump back, I've set hotkeys on each one of these shots, so you can see here it says keyboard shortcut. You can map 1 to 0 for different shots, which is kind of nice to be able to jump into things. Another thing for this would be to use a wireless Bluetooth keyboard separately to have that in your hand to be able to jump to different shots. That's kind of cool. So that's different shots. You can just assign movies to different things. I've got a playlist. You can do playlist functions. So let me bring up one of my playlists. Here's a Udemy one that I've created, which is basically a series of shots that play for 20 seconds then jump onto another same shot but with different backgrounds. This was something I was experimenting with in terms of watermarking different scenes. A couple of things I want to show you as well. I think it's important when you actually connect up your webcams and your audio, double check that you've got the full amount of resolution you can get out of that input. So for instance here, the video setting for my webcam is full HD 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames a second. That guarantees me that I've got a good sharp quality of image there. Same thing for your audio, just checking those settings. Output settings, that's important to be able to set those up so that you can record locally to your hard drive. I'm using ScreenFlow to capture the whole screen on this one, but you might just record this clip inside a Wirecast. You click on this record button where I'm sort of put my mouse at the moment, and it tells you what your CPU is. I've found actually that if you shrink down Wirecast, it might be different from 605, but because the computer's not drawing so much, as in it's not drawing a big size of the images the movie's moving, it seems to use a little bit less CPU. At least it did on other versions. Just a little bit of a trick there. So yeah, next we'll get into virtual camera outs, which are brand new in 605, well 6005 for me, because I'm coming from Wirecast 3, and I'll show you how to do video and audio and send whatever you're looking at in Wirecast straight into your blab, which is a really good way for making shows. Any other questions in this area in terms of transitions and fades? I've got just one fade that says here drop down, which is the mod one, and it's on smooth, so I can literally just go from one to another quite easily. I think that's it. There's a lot of other stuff in Wirecast Pro which I don't have. I just upgraded to Wirecast. There's the Twitter window, which is kind of cool. Let's see if we can find the Twitter thing, and let me just edit the shot on that. You have to actually go to settings. No, it's not settings, it is create shot. No, message feed even, and then you literally push these. You literally select which ones you want to put, and you can rotate those around as well, which is kind of cool. So I've just set one up here with the tweets at the top, so you can do really powerful stuff with it. It's one of the things I really like about Wirecast, and I'm sure you can do that in Manucam and other software like it, but I stuck with this a couple of years ago and I've not gone back. So that's just a bit of a walk around of Wirecast. Like I say, any other questions you have, just get in touch, and I'm happy to make a separate video breaking down individual features of Wirecast. I hope that video made sense and went into a few of the basic features of using Wirecast. I know I went pretty quick on that, so if you need me to go into more detail, do leave me a comment and I will record videos if you want me to go into a specific feature on Wirecast. I love it. I think it's a super stable program. Your reviews are super important to this free course and all my other paid courses, in fact, so please do leave a review. Anything that I can fix that might be wrong or fast, or you want me to go into detail like I mentioned, just let me know. I will happily do that for you. Next up is the video about using virtual camera outs in Wirecast, which is the bit really that you need to know for Blab. I'm also going to get into other sections about how to make your live streaming experience the best it can be. I'll speak to you soon.